How's it going, guys? I got myself a standard match for you against a guy by the name of Jhub24. You can kind of see that he's using a rain team with the Politoed and the couple of things weak to fire. What I don't know is that Jirachi specifically catered for rain, and then, you know, with Gyarados and Rotom benefiting from water being boosted in the rain, it's not bad. So he's put together a couple things that benefit pretty well from it. I just decided I am going to put some various things together. It was just kind of one of those bring whatever the fuck you want kind of moods, and we had at it. So he's going to go ahead and lead off with Politoed. I'm going to go ahead and lead off with my Scizor. And I don't think I end up staying in here. I don't know what I expected to lead out, but I mean, he definitely could have led out with Politoed, so I wasn't really thinking that too through, I guess. But I'm going to go ahead and switch into my Wobbuffet right now, just because I don't really care what happened to this thing. Truthfully, I don't know how to use Wobbuffet. Like, I think I used it maybe once in this game, and then there's another game I have backed up where the thing didn't even fucking get any use at all. But I try to go for a Mirror Coat right there, and he ends up going for the Toxic. So I see he's got Scald, and he's got Toxic. But I do have the Encore, so I'm going to go for that to Encore him into the Toxic, because since I have Shadow Tag, he's going to be trapped in it. I don't care if this thing gets poisoned. Naturally, it's going to be pretty bad for it, but I don't really think I'm going to get much use out of it. Anyways, after I played it the way I did, this is one of my first times using it, but what that's going to let me do, since we do have Shadow Tag going on, this is kind of like the whole mean look thing where you can switch out, and then I just kind of benefit from the opponent's play, whatever they're going to do. But because he's trapped in a Toxic, I get an absolutely safe switch into Scizor. And I'm going to take that opportunity to go for a Sword Stance, you know, start to boost up a little bit as he brings in his Fortress. Now, this is a dual stab Scizor, so I don't really have a whole lot going that I can do against Fortress. But then again, all he can really do is set up hazards. I believe my Tentacruel has Rapid Spin on it anyways. It's a more offensive set, but it does have Rapid Spin, so I should be okay if he wants to start setting that up. So he's going to go ahead and Volt Switch out into his Rotom Wash. And I don't know why I wasn't expecting Will-O-Wisp right here. I guess I was kind of expecting him to go for a Volt Switch and be like a Choice Scarf set, but I've sped this portion up because this is a segment for Scizor that I like to call I Shouldn't Be Alive, because this thing really should not be alive, and neither should this Rotom, as a matter of fact. I know that's quad resistant and that's +4, but there's going to be a couple of instances where this Rotom just taunts me over and over and over. But right here, he's going to go for the Volt Switch. I am a specially defensive Scizor, so I should be able to take that reasonably well. And there's just things living that shouldn't be living. Right here, I'm going to go for the Bug Bite. It's going to do over half, even at +4, so that is pretty awesome. If I wasn't burned or the Will-O-Wisp missed, I would have had a way easier time. But right here, he protects. Now, that's kind of sketch just because I did end up going for the Roost. I don't know what he would have gone for, like, you know, go for a Wish and then pass it off to something. I was kind of expecting him to kill me off right there. But now that I'm alive, I might as well go for it again, because I'm pretty sure I can take a Thunder from this thing. I don't know that it has Thunder, but since I'm special defensive, you know, why the fuck not? But I'm going to go for another Roost on the Switch. I don't really understand why that Jirachi play just happened. He had no real business being in. But I'm back up to full from the other couple of turns, and then I should be able to take the Scald reasonably well. It is rain boosted, but he looks to be like a more defensive Politoed anyway. So I'm going to go for a Bug Bite. Does over half. And I believe he gets a lower damage roll on this one, just because looking at how much Scald did on the other one, it probably should have killed me from here. But I live with like the exact same amount of HP I did on the Volt Switch, which, or whatever, it was a couple moves ago. Point is I'm still alive for some reason. And I actually got a kill with that thing. I brought Rotom down pretty low before it Paint Split. But he's going to go ahead and kill me off with the U-turn. He decided to do that just to get out of there, I guess. Even though I ultimately end up getting Switch advantage no matter what in this scenario. Since he's probably Choice. If he killed me off with Bullet Punch, I would be able to switch in something accordingly. I guess he just doesn't want Wobbuffet coming in. But I'm going to go ahead and bring in Gliscor on his Fortress. Now, this is an offensive one without Toxic Orb. This one has, it's got Roost, and it's got Edgequake, and it's got Sword Stance. This is Jolly, just straight up full offensive, got lefties, that kind of thing, so back and forth. This is what I'm fucking talking about. This thing lives with like 2 HP and burns another one of my Pokemon, and I don't know what the hell I'm going to do about it. It should have died right there. I'm not saying necessarily it should have died on Scizor, but right there, that just fucking pissed me off, because that thing keeps crippling my physical attackers, and instead of just Hydro Pumping me to oblivion, he decides he's going to burn me and annoy the fuck out of me even further, and I'm sitting here just cursing at my DS screen. I very distinctly remember this portion of the game. And I was pissed. I was straight up pissed. You know, you're gonna say you mad in the comments? Yeah, I was fucking mad. That's fucking infuriating. But I figure since Fortress is in here, all it can really do is set up hazards. And if it's only offensive move is Volt Switch, I'm fine. So he's going to have to do a hard switch somewhere along the way, and it's going to let me get off some Swords Dances or decide to start attacking whatever it is I decide to do. I guess I'm going to go for some Swords Dances. Okay, I guess the theme for this game is burn physical sweepers and how to fucking use them retardedly, because that's what I'm doing in this game, and I don't really understand why. But he's going to go for a Bullet Punch. I know because I'm a Gliscor, I have a bit of natural bulk to me, not a whole hell of a lot, but as you can see, that Bullet Punch does a lot. It does more than I thought it would, but then again, I don't have anything invested in defense or anything like that. So I'm going to go for a Roost just to gauge how much damage it would have done. And I'm on the poor end of the stick in that he's doing more than 50%, especially after burn. So I believe I just decided to go for an Earthquake on this turn to get a little bit of damage off. There's not really a whole hell of a lot I can do about it, but I do have a Wobbuffet, so as long as I can get a safe switch in that, I think my Wobbuffet is physically defensive as well. So I can just, you know, get a counter off and then take this thing out, especially if he's Choice Banded, he's not going to be able to switch out Own to Shadow Tag. He's going to be locked in on Bullet Punch. So there are a couple of sure plays in this game, but for as many sure plays as there are burn physical sweepers on my end, and that's really dumb. But I'm going to go ahead and bring in Wobbuffet now. And I was like, this is going to do a lot, because Wobbuffet has a lot of HP, so that way you can use Counter and Mirror Coat, but its defenses aren't really anything to write home about, but I'm able to live it, and that's all that really matters, just because the thing's trapped, and then, you know, I go for the counter, and then I actually got a kill with Wobbuffet. Maybe expect to see this thing in the future. I don't know. I like the idea of the poke, but it's an interesting thing to use that I'm definitely going to need a little more experience with. But then he brings in Gyarados, and I'm like, okay, that kind of sucks because he can start Dragon Dancing, but I could Encore him into it. He's just going to go for an Earthquake. I did go for the counter on the off chance that I would live it, but, you know, the better play in that scenario anyway was to just end up going for the Waterfall just because it's Rain Boost and all that. I mean, why risk it? He was at a good point anyway, but this is a Choice Banded Terrakion. Now, Choice Banded Terrakion, hand this guy a broom because he is going to clean up a lot of messes that I thought I wasn't going to be able to. But in comes Rotom with its like 2, 3, 4 HP. I don't know how much, but I don't miss Stone Edge on this one. I missed Stone Edge on the Fortress earlier, which kind of pissed me off. It wasn't going to end up really doing a whole hell of a lot, but it would have broken the Sturdy and whatever. But he brings in Jirachi now. And I don't know why he brought in Rotom earlier. He definitely could have saved that thing for later, like Paint Split on the predicted Tentacle switch. But he does make a prediction here somewhat, or he was just going to go for the Thunder regardless. I don't know. But Thunder does a lot to this guy, and I am fully offensive on this guy, but I still take it reasonably well. I'm guessing he's more of a bulky set, and he's got Thunder just because Rain. And I miss my Hydro Pump, so everything outside of Terrakion is missing moves, and it's kind of bothering me, just because I know a Rain-boosted Hydro Pump, the Rain that he put up, definitely would have helped out in terms of damage on the Jirachi. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in Terrakion, and because I'm Choice Banded, you know, I can lock myself in on a different move now. And I'm going to go ahead and choose Close Combat, just because Gyarados is gone. And he goes for Protect, just kind of in vain, just because, you know, once he stops protecting, I'm just going to start punching shit. The only real thing I'm worried about right now is Fortress having Gyro Ball, but I don't think you really carry Volt Switch and Gyro Ball on the same set. I've yet to see one that has that, so even with my defenses dropped, I'm not going to be taking that much from an unstabbed Volt Switch, but I know for a fact I can kill off Jirachi from that range, and that's fine. So Fortress is going to come in. As I mentioned, you know, the Stone Edge damage from earlier definitely would have been nice just because the game probably, actually, I don't even think that's going to, no, that's not even going to bring him down that far. Whatever. I guess I was kind of expecting crit or something on this turn, or I don't remember. Might have been a different game I was reviewing. But Volt Switch, you know, after -2, I'm okay. It's fine. So, and, you know, just based on the amount I did earlier, another Close Combat is going to wrap up the game. So, I don't remember how many I was left with. I don't even think I ended up using my Kyurem. I think I might have brought my Scarf one to this game. I don't remember. I gotta look. But anyway, if you guys enjoyed this game, it's kind of a modest length one. What do we have? Yeah, I don't think I ended up using Kyurem, whatever. Anyways, if you enjoyed it, you're welcome to leave a like rating, comment, subscribe, do your thing. I do kind of have a verdict on what Let's Play I'm going to be doing next, and I just finished recording the first episode. So expect that up tomorrow morning. This game probably expect it up in a few hours, whatever. It's like 1, so at like 2 or 3, whatever, that kind of thing. Anyways, I'm done rambling for today, and that's basically all I got coming up for the week. So I will see you guys later.